You see two athletic receivers on the outside that can make plays. They do a really good job of trying to isolate them at times and give them an opportunity to make plays with the ball in the air. Obviously, you see some of the wild type plays. I mean, you see the A&M game; they really came alive, being able to push the ball down the field and took care of the ball a lot better than probably they had earlier in the season. So you got to think that they probably feel good about what they were able to do last 2 weeks, put up their most explosive plays, most amount of points. So we know we got our job cut out for us with a really good team coming into town that's probably confident and playing really good football coming into the stadium.
What makes the Hugh Freeze offense so tough to defend?
I think experience. I think you see players. One starts with their quarterback. I think their quarterback is doing a really good job in the last couple of weeks of just taking care of the ball, operating within himself and operating within the offense, putting the ball on time and on target to people. He's taking the access throws when they're available. Running back's a very good player. He runs north and south downhill, and then you got athletic receivers that can make plays. And anytime you kind of combine those things and you don't take negative plays, and they're doing a good job of staying ahead of the chains. They're in advantageous downs, which is what the point total's been saying, which has allowed them to make plays.
You mentioned Cam. I mean, obviously he's made some big plays as a true freshman. Just specifically with him, kind of what stands out on film that you have to defend against to make sure he doesn't hurt you guys?
Yeah, I think he's one of the more exciting players. You look at young players that are making good plays and bringing good juice and energy. You're seeing that from him on tape. He's got a natural skill set, natural ability. I think they've done a really good job of developing him throughout the season. His play's been consistent and steady. I think he's a confident young player that believes in his ability, that believes in himself, and I think they have a lot of trust in him and what they're asking him to do because they're giving him a lot of opportunities to make plays. And so he's been a really good complementary piece for them, and he's been a good playmaker for them. And we know we got to do a great job against them.
What have you heard about the Iron Bowl, and how have you used what you've heard to communicate to your position group?
Absolutely. I think growing up in Texas and just in this part of the country in the South, you always hear about just storied rivalry games. You got the Texas-Oklahoma, and then you got Alabama, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, and then this one's always been different. I think the day I arrived and I moved into my neighborhood in Tuscaloosa, my neighbor dropped off a bundt cake and said beat Auburn. So I know how important it is. I know how critical it is, and I think as a staff, you try to remove yourself, remove the coaches. The game's going to be won by the 11 players on the offense and the 11 players on defense, the 11 players on special teams. Talking's not going to win the game. It's going to be the most disciplined team, the most physical team, a team that got the right mindset, the team that executes and can maintain intensity for 60 minutes. So we want to put our players in a position where they can be successful and give them the tools necessary to succeed and play with anticipation, call the game with anticipation for things that may occur, things that have already occurred, make sure we put certain things to bed, and then see if we can go put together a great, full, complete game to win a really great rivalry game here at home.
Do you think emotion in a game like this can be an asset or a detriment?
I think emotion's always good. You just can't play emotional. You can't coach emotional. You can't make emotional decisions. But you want to really be in the sweet spot of your emotions. You want to make sure that there is a sweet spot that you can be in where intensity, urgency, the urgency to get things done at a high level, you want to be in the good space with that, but you don't ever want to bleed it to where it goes over the line, to where you do anything that ever decreases your chances of winning the game. So we know emotions are going to be involved in the game, but the most emotional team's not going to win. It's the team that actually does their job.
I'm curious, when you're recruiting and on the